Welcome to the TVMusic Network Podcast with Phyllis and Belinda. I'm Belinda.
And I'm Phyllis.
And today we're going to talk about award shows.
Yeah, there's been a lot. You know, it's the end of award season right now with everything that had been going on with the writer's strike and then the actor's strike. We actually managed to end up having a pretty nice award season. Don't you agree?
Yeah. In the last month, there's been an award show. I think we've been to an award show like every single week. We've been doing something with award shows.
Tired.
And now it's almost done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oscars, SAG, Independent Spirit Awards, NAACP Image Awards. So we're going to just talk about a couple of them, but there's just too many to talk about. All of them.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of round it out.
We're just going to round it out. We're going to talk a little about the Oscars, Academy Awards, and we're going to talk about the NAACP Image Awards just this past week. Let's start. Should we start with the Oscars?
Yeah. I think we should start with the Oscars because it just happened. Jimmy Kimmel hosted. This was his fourth time hosting. It was at the Kodak, which is now at the Ovation. I still call it Hollywood and Highland and the Dolby. I think it is still called the Dolby Theater.
It is called the Dolby Theater, yes.
And it's at the
formerly
Ovation
known as the
complex.
Kodak Theater.
Yeah, formerly known as
the Kodak Theater that was at Hollywood and Highland, which is now called the Ovation.
Right.
So at the moment, it is currently called the Dolby at the Ovation.
Right.
The day someone asked me where the Ovation was, and I tried to and I finally said it's Hollywood and Highland.
I was very confused because they go, "Where's the Ovation?" I'm like, "The Ovation." I still haven't pictured in my mind that it's called the Ovation. So when some tourists asked, I was completely confused.
And when the tourists go, they get a show. There's like chairs there.
Yeah.
There's like
it's
places
really
you can sit
nice.
down and
it
eat.
has evolved.
We've seen chargers.
We've seen all elevations of it.
of it.
But my favorite thing at the Ovation at the moment, I mean, besides the beautiful theater and the architecture and the Kobe Bryant mural that's there with Kobe and his Oscar, is the Sprinkles cupcake kiosk.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be my favorite thing there. Yeah. And Hot Topic when they have some Funkles or something on sale. But I think the Sprinkles kiosk is there, which is very nice. They got a lot of good choices there. People just love them. And every time we go, I have to have one.
Yep. That's one thing about that machine. Yeah, that machine's there to get you. And I like it that they film it up. They fill it twice a day, and
they keep it. They keep it full.
A red velvet when I need to get it in at what time. I keep thinking, well, let me go by the later. And one time they refill it, it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get one.
So Sprinkles, if you need a sponsor, we're looking for sponsors. It would be nice if you'd sponsor our little podcast, but I digress. Anyway,
all right, let's hit
back to the Oscars
next time we're in town. Yeah, let's hit Sprinkles on this time they're doing an event. That's one. Yeah. All right, you got competition, Lipton tea, Sprinkles. Anyway, let's talk about the Oscars. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I really liked it. I thought that if I had to judge it, I would probably give it a B. And the only reason I'm giving it a B is because as happy as I was to everybody, it was a little predictable. Spoiler alert, Oppenheimer was the big winner. It won pretty much 7 awards. It took home Best Picture, Best Actor for Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor for Robert Downey Jr., Best Director Christopher Nolan, the Best Original Score for Ludwig, and I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce your name, and Best Editing and Best Cinematography. So there was a lot of Oppenheimer going on, and I felt like it didn't really share the wealth as much as we thought, and I thought it was a really good run of movies, for this Oscar year. And I guess the second best one was Poor Things, and that took home about 4 awards, I believe. And Emma Stone won her second Oscar, and Robert Downey Jr. finally got his due, and he won for Oppenheimer. But I loved Divine Joy Randolph won for The Holdovers. I thought her performance was fantastic, and I think she was the one that was rooting for most during the whole ceremony, or doing this pretty much whole season. And I'm not alone, because she swept every single award that she was nominated for. She was totally recognized. I thought that was great. The couple of things that I didn't, again, with, the B instead of the A, some of the set designs, I was like, what was going on there? I couldn't quite understand some of the set designs. What I did like, though, I should start with what I liked. I liked the acting choices. I liked the fact that, Oppenheimer won. I liked the fact that there was a camaraderie when they had the best actors and best actress. The acting categories were presented by 5 past winners. So they had that camaraderie kind of thing going on, where it was kind of like a welcome to the club, or welcome to this rare club of people having Oscars. I liked that. Some of the comedy was funny. Like, I liked John Cena, and when he did the best costume design and he had nothing on. I thought that was pretty funny. Very, very funny. I liked when America Ferrera and, oh, God, so sad, Kate McKinnon, when they did their award, and they were talking, they did the little sketch, back and forth with Steven Spielberg. And then I liked the Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger sketch, where they were playing off of Michael Keaton, because they played villains to him in Batman. So I thought that was cute. So that was kind of like my my overall view of it. What about you?
Okay, so we're going to start. Okay, first of all, let's talk positive stuff we like, and then
that's
we'll talk
what I was doing.
Okay, sorry, I was just going to talk about something funny, but then I thought I would just
do it.
Should I start?
Just do it.
Okay, let's get
just first free of all. Fall.
Let's talk about
free fall. Just go for it.
We just told you about the Oscars, and it's in the heart of Hollywood. It is on Hollywood Boulevard, at the Dolby. Let's talk about getting to the Oscars.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about that. First of all,
you want to go there,
so
okay.
The Oscars is in the middle of Hollywood. Hollywood Boulevard has been
smack
blocked
dab in the middle.
From Highland to Orange.
Yeah.
For the past, for at least a good 2.5 weeks, it's been blocked
and
off.
If you know anything about the area, it's those comfortable little blocks, but those blocks affect everything. They affect Highland, that's next to it. They affect Hollywood Boulevard, that's part of it. They affect Sunset, and they affect Fairfax. They affect everything.
La Brea, the freeway.
Yeah.
They affect everything.
Everything.
People who live in that area are like, oh God, here it comes. They don't,
I know.
It basically starts about 6 weeks in advance, but basically about 2 weeks out is when they really start to blocking everything off and all that. And the very last, like a week and a half,
right,
it's completely closed off, and it's completely closed off, and you can't get through the streets and all that. So you need to use all your best streets. You need to use Fountain. You need to use all your extra. It just affects everything. Going into the valley, you're like, well, I could go over Laurel Canyon Way, but if I go to Laurel Canyon Way, it's blocked off because someone who normally takes that
and
way,
people are going to be turned on to Hollywood,
but then on Highland,
right?
So it affects a lot. And normally that time, you just don't go down there unless you absolutely have to. You kind of start watching other ways to go. You kind of start thinking you don't really need to be down there.
Do you really need to be down there?
You start thinking
Can you go another way?
Can you go another way? Do you really need to be in that area?
Yeah.
Do you really need to go to, I mean, it affects everything. So the day of the Oscars, it got worse the day of the Oscars.
Right.
The actual day of the Oscars. As you know, the Oscars started an hour early. Normally the Oscars starts.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you said about the hour earlier.
It started an hour earlier. So it means you need to be there an hour earlier. And so you got...
Oh, and then the time change made it even worse.
The time change, I think, made it worse. Yeah, because it was the day before, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. The time went up and all that. So I think, between all that, you have all the workers... the workers have to be there. Then you have all the workers have to be there. Yeah, the media has to be there. Then you have all the, people that are attending the show. I shouldn't say they aren't celebrities because that sounds mean. People that are attending the show that aren't going to be doing red carpet interviews.
Right.
That way. because I hate to say it like, you're
attendees.
Attendees. Then you have the people that are nominated and people that are presenting and people that are, going that are going to be doing the red carpet interviews.
Right, going to be on camera.
Yeah, then you have the fans that go out to wait and they want to see celebrities. They go and they wait and all this. And then you have a protest that was going on.
Yep.
In the middle of Hollywood. So you all this build up. So all of a sudden, the Oscars is coming on. If you're watching at home and you're watching those red carpet shows and you aren't seeing celebrities, well, there was a big holdup of people just blocked that couldn't get those 3 blocks that it takes to get from Sunset to Hollywood.
That's true. So a lot of celebrities got
cars, and there's cars and cars blocked away. You probably saw some celebrities with their cell phones or anything else. But can you just imagine this?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Some celebrities barely made it on time.
And
so they missed the carpet altogether.
Yeah. So if you're at an award show and they start closing doors pretty early, whether you're there or not.
Right.
If the show starts at 4:30, by 4 o'clock, they are starting to close doors, and because they want to make sure everybody's there in their seat. So when the TV goes on live, there's someone there. So they have seat fillers that are there to fill the spot when you're not there. And then once the seat fillers are put in your seat, you cannot move until the next commercial break.
Yeah, if it's live TV, they don't like people roaming around and stuff, so they'll hold everybody outside until a commercial break.
Yeah, they will hold you outside. You're waiting in the lobby, and then once the commercial is on, after they have to get you up, get people in, and all that. And then you'll see people you'll see celebrities, just kind of hanging out because they've missed the beginning. They have TVs and monitors there, so you can watch it, so you can see what's happening, see what you're missing, but not a fun place to be. So they literally had celebrities at Sunset Boulevard. If you know anything about Hollywood, you will understand how crazy this is.
Yeah,
trying to get from Sunset to Hollywood Boulevard. Okay, that's like, we've walked it plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
We've walked it. It's not like a far walk or anything.
Right.
Like that.
But in heels and your
nice in your dress, outfit, in your tux, in your suit, in your Sunday best, walking down this lopsided street, because both sides of that street is lopsided. They need to fix those streets right across where the high school is.
Sorry, Mayor Bass, but
it needs to put that on your list. Yeah, it needs to be fixed. So I can only imagine. So they have these golf carts that they use to take people around and drive you back and forth and everything else. So they literally had golf carts going out, driving down the street, which is already, because the street's already blocked off. Because the day, I forgot to mention that, the day of the show, not only is Hollywood blocked, all the surrounding streets are now blocked.
Sunset and Highland. They had to walk from Sunset and Highland
to Hollywood Highland. So they had these golf carts trying to get through traffic to pick up people and put them in this little golf cart and then drive them up to back to Hollywood and Highland. Then when you go to Hollywood Highland, the Dolby's in the middle of the block.
Right. It's not right at the corner.
It's not right at the corner. There's like the Foot Locker and all these. Well, everything's closed. They close all the shops that day anyway, and everything's red carpet tents. And they have all these celebrities now getting out of their little golf carts at that corner, actually. And then they're now walking through to make their way. Then when you walk all the way down, then you turn, and then you go through the Dolby, which is a bunch of stores, and there's a bunch of stairs. Depending on where you're sitting, they climb the stairs, and then you see this other thing or whatever. So you only can imagine the beginning of the show.
Right.
Nobody in their seats. You got some celebrities there, but you got a bunch of seat fillers there. And then you have a bunch of celebrities in the hallway, all talking, whatever, thinking they're missing something.
Yeah, kind of the main people that people want to see, too.
Yeah. Then they start loading people in on the sideways. They will put you on the sidelines. That way, as soon as that commercial comes, and they got to run you in, because it's a 3-minute commercial.
Pretty much,
like that, too. And I know there's a clip out there that somebody taped of Charisse Theron, standing in the middle of the thing, waiting, okay, just wait for your moment to get up there. So when you watch the show, if you watch the first 20 minutes of the Oscars, you're going to see the same 10 people, because there's no one there.
Yeah.
Then the second half, you start seeing, there's so-and-so. I didn't know where so-and-so was sitting. I didn't know. And then the funny part about the thing is that Jimmy's making the monologue, so he's mentioning all these people in the monologue, and I like that they changed the monologue because people weren't there. Whether there was, it's really interesting to see that. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Just
you're right. Getting there,
Hollywood Boulevard being crazy.
And then that kind of makes it. Well, I got to tie in the carpet then, because the red carpet show with Julianne and with Vanessa Hudgens, with Julianne Hough and Vanessa Hudgens, I thought was a really good show. I thought the two of them were really great as a host, and congratulations to Vanessa on who's expecting her first child. Yeah. The people that they grabbed a lot of people, but I think there were some people that they probably didn't get that people were expecting that they would be talking to.
Oh, like the major nominees?
Yeah.
When I watched that back,
right.
When I watched that back, I was like, wow, that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
They didn't talk to this person on the
right.
whole, and then we just like, wait, we know why they didn't talk to them.
Right, exactly. They couldn't get there, right.
They couldn't get there enough time.
Uh-huh.
So that had to be pretty stressful.
Right.
For a lot of people and all that. And one thing we can tell you from experience, it's not fun.
No.
It's not fun trying to get into an award show. Trying to get awards, especially when it's like especially a music show, when someone's
trying to get there to live TV. Can you imagine trying to get somewhere by 5? And
you're trying to get in that show and
get there by 4.
You're in the door and they tell you got to wait in the hallway while someone's performing because you got there too late. You're like, no. I need to be inside watching this opening performance. Not fun, but I thought that part was pretty interesting. I thought this from a Hollywood standpoint. If you don't know anything about Hollywood Highland, just look at a Google map and look at where Hollywood and Highland is from Sunset in Highland.
Right.
And take a look at those blocks and then they come in the opposite way. You're coming from the valley. You're now on the freeway and you're coming down the opposite way.
Right.
Down Highland or whatever. It's just not fun. No, it's not fun. But
that's true. It's not.
But but they pulled it off. They had a show started. The show started on time. Actually, the show did start on time. The show was late starting.
Right.
The show was actually
what 5? Yeah, the show was actually 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
late.
The show was actually late starting on the air
for that reason.
It went on, but they had clips. But it actually was late starting, and that rarely happens. For a show to be started. But I think as far as the time change, I think it worked better.
I did too.
Earlier in the long run.
I liked it.
Because I can imagine being on the East Coast. We're on the West Coast. But I can imagine being on the East Coast.
Until midnight.
Waiting till midnight to find out who's going to win the final 5 awards.
And it's a work day for most people, even though
because it's a Sunday.
They say that's not. Because a lot of people, especially a lot of people, when they are at the awards or they win, they're like, oh, I have to work the next morning, or I'm going to work the next morning. We have to be there the next day. I've got this call all time or whatever. So it's a party and it's a night, but again, it's a Sunday.
So I can imagine it worked better for the East Coast. On the West Coast, it's over very, very early on the West Coast. The West Coast, the show's over by 7:30, 8:30.
Right,
There's time to go eat. There's time to go to 3 or 4 parties.
Right.
There's time to go to 5, 6 events because you don't have that thing. So I thought as far as the West Coast, I think moving it, and we'll have to see in the future, if they keep it that way. I thought it worked out better for that balance.
I thought it worked out better. I just think maybe next time there won't be the daylight savings time, so that maybe that won't be a factor. I don't know. Yeah,
but I thought that okay, things that I liked. Let's talk about that first. Then I'll let you go on to other stuff. I liked a couple of the skits I liked. A couple of the skits I thought were a little too long.
Right.
There was a couple of things. The thing that Guillermo did with the alcohol and all that.
Oh, Jimmy and Toast, right.
I thought that part was funny. Jimmy Kimmel, I go back and forth on there. Sometimes I love Jimmy Kimmel. Sometimes I don't like Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
And what I mean by that, sometimes his jokes are really funny. He's very good at spontaneous. Something happens when we got to fill 5 minutes. He's very good at that.
Right.
I've been to his shows. I've been to the tapings.
Right. He's good things on his feet.
And then some of the stuff he has, I'm just like, well, why do you think that was funny? Is that like, did that go over
just his general sense of humor, I guess?
Yeah, he knows a lot of the celebrities. I think that works to his advantage because I know there's been some criticism about some of the jokes he's made about certain actors and all that, and he was saying
that's just
that
not my style. I wouldn't have done it. Yeah,
he was saying that he knows some of those actors, and that's why he's comfortable picking on an actor like that he knows personally, as opposed to picking on someone he doesn't know. There's a lot of times about making jokes like Robert Downey Jr.
But then,
and he says he knows them. That's why. But my thing, that was just so tired and just so
but
old.
For me, I think too, it becomes like an inside joke kind of thing.
Exactly.
Because he knows them, and it's like, oh, I would say that to him around the dinner table, or so we eat together, or whatever. But I'm like, well, I don't, and I'm at home, or I'm, watching, so I don't really think of it or see it that way. But that's just me. But I thought a lot of the stuff was funny.
Yeah, that was one thing I did. I also liked the musical performances.
Yeah, performances
all 5
were great.
Songs performed. I liked. Actually, I liked all. They're very short. They were so short.
Yeah,
and I understand they made it short because they wanted to keep up with the timing and all that.
I don't know. I thought each thing could have been longer.
It was like 2 minutes, and I'm like, has it always been that way, or did they just feel extra shorter?
I think
because I enjoyed them
felt
more.
like they were shorter.
They were less than 3 minutes, and I always thought they were like almost
2.5. I think
I thought they were always 3 minutes, and maybe that was that extra 30 things that that caught off guard or whatever. But I don't know. That kind of
I don't know.
I did like the actresses coming out.
And the same thing I said. Yeah.
They did it before.
Right.
They did that
I like
maybe
that.
10 years ago, I think it was.
I feel like they should do it
or
every year.
5 years ago. Every year should do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if
Start
they
with
do
last
it
year's
because
winner.
it's a special occasion or something, but they should just do it every year because
Start with
this
last
was
year's
96,
winner,
right?
As last year's winner, read it like they did this year. That person led it.
Right.
And then go from there. Just do it every year. You could come up with 5 people.
There's plenty of people they can do.
And
yeah.
There's people, tons of people they can use. So just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Okay. I did like that part. There's one part
I like that
I didn't like mine, but we'll talk about it when we go to dislikes. But I did like that. I think they should do it every year. Just do it every year for the 5 main categories. Also, I liked having a director like Steven Spielberg came out to do Best Director.
Yes.
Right. Best
Keeping
Picture,
that tradition alive. I like that.
Winner to come out to do Best Picture. We'll talk about that later. But that part, but overall, I enjoyed it. And it's actually one of the better ceremonies.
Yeah,
it's
a shame though. I thought,
and I really shouldn't say better ceremonies, but in my opinion, it was actually one of the more interesting ceremonies.
And I think it's because, and I say this all the time, it's like when the movies are popular or when the movies do really, really well at the box office, you have a really good Oscar season because people are expecting those people, the people that were in that movie to be there. Because you had Barbie, so then you had all these people.
That is true.
From Barbie, people were expecting to see Margot Robbie. People expecting to see people. Oppenheimer did really, really well. So people were expecting to see that. Yeah,
because I know for a while there was like 4 or 5 Best Pictures that were up, and I had never seen them. And
you hadn't had. I'm like,
once it passed, I'm not going to go. Chance of going back to watch them now are very slim.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, it's over. I got to get ahead for next season.
Right.
And I really, really liked of the 5 performances. My favorite performance was the Ken performance.
Oh God, yeah, that Ken.
I didn't think that was going to be my favorite.
That Ken performance is going to live as one of the best in Oscar history.
And I think I liked it
Debbie
because
Allen didn't even do it.
I think I liked it because you didn't know what to really expect with that number. You know, they're going to do it. And it was like, oh, what's going to happen? We heard there's a bunch of Kens. We heard this is coming. We heard this is coming. You really didn't know anything that was coming.
Right.
All I knew is that the minute Slash was in the building and Whoopi Van Halen, I'm like, Whoopi and Slash are going to be performing on that Just Kid performance with Mark Ronson because why else are they there? Like, what else are they just doing? I don't mean it in a rude way. What are they doing there?
Yeah.
Whoopi Van Halen, he doesn't just go out for fun.
And
you don't see him just hanging out in the streets of Hollywood. And
it was a great performance.
Yeah, he got time. He does his music, he does his tours, and he's kicking back at home. He is not just hanging out. And Slash, you just don't see Slash every day.
Yeah.
Just come on out and hang out. They don't do
Slash
Hollywood
is
stuff.
Cool as F-U-C-K.
Slash is cool. He's there. He's there for a reason.
Right.
He's saying, those people you just don't see. And, there's some celebrities we see. You see them all the time.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be seen.
Yeah, but I like that performance. He did a really nod to Marilyn Monroe, that famous scene in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes when she was talking about it. And then the younger set remembered it as Madonna's Material Girl video. So he did a great nod to those. And Ryan Gosling said that it was his idea.
Yeah.
He came up with the concept of it.
He came up with the concept. That was really geeky with the concept.
Oh, my God.
With it. I thought it was good. I also like how they incorporated the actors. They took 4 of the actors that were
they took some of the Kens that were in the movie and did it.
They included them into it. And I like how they had like 60-something dancers into it and everything else. And Mandy Moore did the choreography for that.
Yeah, Mandy. And, good for her.
She's worked with Ryan from La La Land and whatever. So I thought that was pretty interesting that she did that.
That was really good.
Some dancers.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I always look for alumni dance of certain shows and everything in it, so it was good to see so you could dance people and everything else involved. I thought that was another.
And Mandy's an alum herself.
And I didn't really think that was going to be a number. I didn't think that was going to be a number I was going to talk about the most. Out of the 5 performances, the 5 songs, I thought it was going to be maybe the Billie Eilish,
Although I love that song.
Because one of my favorite songs. We knew that song was going to win. Yeah. And, so I thought for sure. You look at the 5 songs. Yeah. And then as far as the original scores, it was kind of obvious, that we were going to get the Oppenheimer. That Ludwig was going to win another Oscar. So
good for him. Congratulations.
You kind of figured that out too. Congratulations. And a different style movie too.
Right.
So you kind of figured that out. So I think you're right about that. That might be why it was more enjoyable.
That's what I think, because I go back to other years.
Yeah. Because usually by the time there's one part of the Oscar, they start off real strong. They start giving out the supporting categories at first. Then they start doing, costume and then there's like this long...
I love costumes.
No, I'm not saying that anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, then there's this long kind of gap where they start giving away these other awards.
Right.
Like
they give away the
production design.
Right.
And hairstyles, and not saying against those categories, but people start to tend off. They're like,
it's the way they do them, but this year I think they kept it very interesting,
consistent with it.
Right.
So I don't know why, but
I like that's just my opinion.
I was very happy for the Last Repair Shop to win.
Yeah,
I was very happy
that was really sweet.
Won with the little kids in the repair shop.
I think that was a very sweet movie. They had the little girl Portia.
She went on stage.
She went on stage with them to help accept the Oscar. It was just the cutest.
It's adorable.
One of those things where it was like a feel-good kind of movie. I think that's another reason too why the ceremony was so touching and sweet, because I think everybody has that. Either whether you were in band or you were in some kind of like activity at school, everybody has that kind of thing where that was a nostalgic moment for you. Yeah, I went for best short, documentary short. Yes. And I've been rooting for it because, like I said, I have a relationship with it. I thought, wow, God, band. Right. Being a music major. Oh my God, where are my old teachers? I started getting, just so I've been following that. Ever since you told me about it. That's the funnier part. So I'm the one that knows all this, and you were the one that... I'm like, well, what is this? I know. I'm like, you better... I had never heard of this documentary until you mentioned it. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I'm trying to think what else I liked about the ceremony. I'm trying to think offhand. I liked the speeches. Yeah. One of my pet peeves, is when people take out a sheet of paper and they start reading from a sheet of paper. I'm like, you guys are actors. You guys are in the industry. And I know you don't want to forget anybody. You know how they say you're off book? Get off book for your speech. Yeah, I know you don't want to forget anybody. Right. And I know it's important you don't forget anybody on that too. But I think you're just surprised that you won. And you're surprised you won. You're like, you're in the moment. You don't forget anyone. That's fine. Most of the people you can thank off the cop, because people, everybody watching don't know who these people are. Right. They don't know. So you're sitting there, my lawyer, my cat, my dog, and you're just like... I'm like, thank everybody. And a long time ago, Gene Siskel said, whether them thanking their lawyer and obviously that you don't know who they are, he liked to hear them talk a little bit about working on the performance work, and I thought, wow, that's a really good point. What he said, I'm like, I actually agree with them. I'm like, it's a career. To me, it's like, it's a career. You've tried, a lot of times when you win, you've been in the business 25 years. So you got 25 years to thank everybody, 50 years to thank everybody. If I want to thank my pet turtle, I'm thanking my turtle. If I want to thank my agent, I want to thank whoever, I'm going to do it. And it's so funny because they must have mentioned they did. During the David Allen Greer was the one. David Allen Greer made an announcement to people off the TV. That, we want to keep the speeches, short. We want to keep them whatever. So if you can, go up there, keep in the time frame. Don't be thanking your publicist and your agent. But not like what that line goes, I'm going to thank my publicist. I don't care. And when she said that, I was like, good, because people get on those award shows and they never, ever thank the publicist. Mm-hmm. And speaking as a publicist, you need to thank these people. They don't understand the work. The publicist does probably as much work as you do, because that person is out there guarding your every move, right? Your everything, every junket, everything, every red carpet you're on,
Zoom call you're making, every trip, they don't do all this extra work.
Right.
That person's like an extra person there. So, I mean, more so than like your agent and your man. Not saying they're not as important, because of course they are, because they get you the gig and you're there, but that one person is like there. So when she said it, and so you ain't got to post on microphone, that was so good. And then they cut her off. And then when Jimmy came and asked her about it like that too, but they don't, I mean, she thanked, Tracy, who went out of her way to make that campaign and keep it in there. And she won. She won every single award.
That was great.
She made sure there was no way anyone could catch up to her.
She made sure people saw that movie too.
And that you saw the movie and that you go on. So they tell you that. And so I understand what Jean was saying, and I agree with that. But people get up on that stage, they take out this sheet of paper, and they're just reading for this piece of paper. I'm like, can you at least, say it like in a different way? And Divine was one of them. Almost every single award she won, she got up to shit that sheet. And I was like, come on, Divine, you're an actress. I know you can do it. Come on. You can do it, speech, whatever else too. And she did it. She did it. She went off the cuff, and it was a beautiful speech.
Yeah.
She spoke from her heart. She went on thing. It was beautiful.
Right.
It was a great speech.
Exactly.
Robert Downey Jr. has been winning a lot. And he's been doing the speeches without a piece of paper. And he has a way to bullet point people and put people together and all that and everything too. Like you said, maybe he's got 35 years of practice on this, as he says, But so I thought he had a beautiful speech. Killian's speech,
Yeah, I thought his speech
at the BAFTAs, they all gave these really, really great speeches.
Right.
They were all short, they were compact. I'm thinking, wow, can we get an award show like that where it's like, what I like about the BAFTAs? It's like, there's nothing in between.
Oh, we didn't add in
2 hours.
Time to talk about them. But I thought it was great.
Boom, 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 boom,
and then, do you think it's because it's live, but it's not really live?
Well, it is
do
live.
They edit it?
No,
but I mean, do they edit it? Or by the time we see it, it's not
maybe
live?
That's what it is. I think it's just because they don't do the 3 hours. It's straight. They don't do the musical act.
That's true. That's true. They do.
There's not a host.
There was one thing.
They do one bit. No? They do a number.
Okay, I hate to go back to the BAFTAs because now I'm getting off track, but I thought it was really cool. The little opening sketch they did.
Yeah.
It was David Tennant and Michael Sheen. He was saying that he needed someone to watch his dog because he was going to be, hosting the BAFTAs. He couldn't get around to it. And so then when he got there, and then Michael Sheen was there, and he goes, wait a minute, did you want me to host your dog or try to get around because you were there? And he goes, yeah. So I thought that sketch was very funny.
So I think that's why. Cute. And they have done musical numbers before. But I think it's just not I think
they had one musical number.
Yeah, but I think theirs is like a 2-hour show, or ours is like a 3.5-hour show. There's 7 twin tips if you count how many times the host is on and changing and all that. They make sure the host has a thing when they don't do all that.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's why. But they all gave
they just go right to it.
And their speeches were all just so different. And I thought, can we get that when we get to our thing? And I think for the most, everyone had good speeches. Everyone had good speeches.
I thought they did
and all that. So I think I like that part about it. The skits. Oh, I also liked that they had people coming out for different movies. Like they had Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oh, yeah, they had the little twins thing.
Coming out with Danny DeVito.
That was cute.
Yeah, people from different, movies. They had the thing with Margot, not Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
With
Emily Blunt and Ryan.
And they're compared to...
They compared Barbie and...
Yeah. I also like that
cute.
As well.
Yeah.
And I think that might be everything, right?
You mean as far as presenters and awards and stuff?
I was happy for Robert.
Yeah.
I was happy for Robert.
I was happy with all the acting choices.
I was happy with Robert. I was happy for Divine. And the Killian, I haven't watched all of Oppenheimer. It's a 3-hour movie. Mm-hmm. So I haven't watched all of that.
Very A Beautiful Mind, though.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of it yet.
It screamed to me. Seemed like it was that it copied A Beautiful Mind as much as it could.
Well, when I finish it,
so I'm like, Ron Howard.
Haven't finished it all yet. I'll be honest with that. But for what I've seen of him, it was really, really good. I was maybe hoping Jeffrey or Coleman or somebody would take it at the last minute because we've seen takeovers. I did see,
but I always say that about them. The nomination was their
win. Yeah. Everyone thought Giamatti was between the two of them.
Yeah,
and I thought Paul Giamatti's not one of my favorites.
He was really good in the movie,
but he's really, really good in the holdovers. So he's not an actor I just go out of my way. I shouldn't say not one of my favorites because it sounds like I don't like him. But what I mean.
He's not one like you go and see a movie just because he's in it.
I'm not. Yeah, but I took it down.
But he gave a great performance.
But he gave a great performance in the holdovers. So They was in that
I love
sense.
The Holdover. Such a good movie.
And I thought, it really happened to Devonta. I thought she just was so fantastic. And I tell everybody, watch The Holdover to see that performance.
Right.
And like I said, it's a movie that I was not going to watch. You know, I probably would have watched it once the nominations came, but you saw the movie and talked me into watching it. And then I watched it and fell asleep the first time I watched it. And then I was like, do I really need to watch this movie again? Should I just watch the scenes of her or what? And then I actually really enjoyed it. So I actually recommend people actually watch it.
Yeah, that was great.
So I thought, too, as far as the Best Actress category, there was always going to be a battle between Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone. And I was hoping that Lily would pull it out, and Emma Stone pulled it out.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most surprise and then non-surprise at the whole awards. First of all, because Emma, it's one of those career things. People like it.
They like her.
Yeah.
I think they like her.
They like her.
I think that's the bottom line.
They love it.
She's adorable.
And then with Lily, it's one of those where she's new. I think of it as the Austin Butler versus Brendan Fraser last year.
Yeah.
It was so... Yeah. Everybody said, oh my God, he just gave this performance. It was fantastic. But then here's Brendan, who has the career. He, Hollywood loves him. He's been in the business forever, all this kind of stuff. They think of him more as Hollywood, in a sense, than him. That's what I compared it to.
Yeah, you're right. That kind of hit me hard like that, too.
Yeah.
I find that kind of interesting, too, because I think with, like it's Poor Things is another one. I will try to finish it all before I make a final judgment on it. I just didn't care for it. I just didn't. But what I've seen, I just was like, what is happening here?
Style of movie.
It wasn't my style. It wasn't whatever else, too. And I think that was probably the biggest upset, and a lot of people were very upset about it.
I love those costumes. I loved, the production design. It was a strange movie for me. But it's so funny. I kind of have to give a shout out. It kind of, what I think was, there's the Wes Anderson one for the live action short.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't
movie,
there. Yeah. Wes finally wins an Oscar and he wasn't there.
It was a story of...
He was like working somewhere or something, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. That movie was kind of like what I kind of wanted Poor Things to be, in a sense, as far as like production design and look and feel and all that stuff. But, I'm happy with that.
Well, the most interesting thing I saw in Poor Things was Willem Dafoe. He didn't even get nominated. He was like the most interesting thing I've seen in that movie. It just wasn't my style. I was really rooting for Lily. And Emma won, like I said, nice, sweet Emma, nice, sweet girl. Nothing against her. I just wanted Lily to win. Let's just keep it real.
We know who your vote went to.
Yeah,
then.
We just keep it real. I said that last time. Emma has 2 Oscars.
Yeah,
she has 2 Oscars, and I think both times she won.
Both times she won, you were surprised. You wanted someone else
to win, and this time as well.
That's funny.
Don't come at me, Emma Stone, people. But
don't come at me, stoners.
Don't come at me, Emma Stone people.
What do we call Emma Stone fans? Are they stoners?
I don't know what they are, but I don't know what they are.
And it just makes me wonder. All of a sudden, it hit me. I'm like, hey.
But when it goes back to winning, and it goes back to that category you brought up. Okay, she won for La La Land. Okay, she won for La La Land. Reese Witherspoon won for playing June Carter.
Yeah.
And then
Walk the Line.
And then you go down this list of people, and these guys, I'm still mad that Joaquin Phoenix lost that Oscar.
I know.
Eddie Murphy losing for Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
But
again,
I'll never get over that.
The career versus...
Austin losing for the Elvis role.
Right.
And so I look at those performances, those 3 performances. So they gave it to the girl, but they would not give it to the guys in that role. And I think it's because it just depends on who they're up against. They were up against this career
very stiff competition.
Performances.
Right.
And like I said, last year when Austin lost, I was like, how did he lose?
And it's harder for women.
And like I said, it's nothing against... Well, they always say there's always more men than women. There's always not enough women to fill those spots.
Yeah.
There's always 15 men.
It's almost like they can nominate 10 men.
Always. And there's always like there's always like 7 women. And then out of nowhere, someone comes and gets that last spot.
Yeah.
Which I think happened this year as well. They get the best actress, that 4 people you know. And then all of a sudden, here comes so pretty. Like, wait, who? Like, where did this person come from? And that's always, but I think that always happens when I look at the awards and I'm like, okay, so besides those two, those are the only two that, as I said, who I wanted to win and didn't win. Then for Best Picture, there was no, regardless of what happened, Oppenheimer was going to win.
Right.
No matter what. There was no surprise.
Well, although for a second, though, people were like wondering if Poor Things was going to sneak up in there, but I'm like, no, it's got to be Oppenheimer.
I mean, Poor Things won like costumes, just awards. I did not expect this movie to with costumes. It won like hairstyling. It won like a lot of awards. I didn't expect, if you look at the competition, for that movie to win. But to be fair, and that's a big if, because I love Mark Ruffalo. I love Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, you do.
Love me some Mark Ruffalo.
She loves her some Mark Ruffalo.
That's his 4th nomination. Very happy for him. Hope he'll pick up a 5th one next year.
Yeah, he will.
Love him to death. If I finish watching Poor Things, because I did turn it off, then maybe I may have a different perspective of it. But as of now, I'm like, okay, all right. So let's talk about.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I liked David Allen Greer as the announcer.
Yes.
I thought that was good. I don't know how I felt. Well, this is probably getting into dislikes, but I did like.
We can start the dislikes now.
Yeah. I don't know if I liked the behind the scene kind of stuff where they'll be like, oh, we'll deal with so and so. We're coming up on the break, or we're coming up right after the break. I feel like that wasn't as rehearsed as it could have been. I did like, there was one point where Michael Keaton and Catherine O'Hara came out and they presented, as a nod to Beetlejuice. Yeah. But at one point, David walked up to them, and I don't know if they didn't know he was on the camera, if they didn't know he was on air at the time, and he's like, we'll be right up or something, and it kind of scared the both of them. I don't know if I like that spontaneous kind of stuff. I mean, did they tell them ahead of time when they were presenting, we're going to be backstage doing these little things or talking and stuff? I don't know if they told them about that.
That seemed, watching that back.
Yeah, that seemed a little off.
That seemed like that was off.
Yeah. I think it could have been nice. They had Guillermo do his little sketch. They had David do his thing. They had Jimmy do his thing. It might have been nice for the three of them to be together a little bit. That might have been nice, I think. I liked, I think that might have been it as far as that. And what I did like too was that it was quick. They had extra time. And I don't know if they had extra time because the songs were so short.
I think they had extra time because it was 2 winners that weren't there. One was Wes Anderson.
Oh, you're right.
And one, there was like 2 people that definitely were not there.
Yeah.
And I think they allowed that
probably would have
3 minutes.
Taken some time.
Which, if you took 3 minutes of those speeches,
right?
Then I think
that would have been 10 minutes early.
That made it end up being like 6-7 minutes early. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I said, they started late.
Right.
But I think that's why.
And I think they started late too because they didn't show clips. They didn't show clips as much as they could have on certain things.
Yeah, that goes on my dislikes category. Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes
I think that took some time away too.
Yep.
I don't know.
You want to start with what you disliked? You start.
Okay. What I disliked was some of the order of the awards. I didn't really like that. I kind of felt like they could have went. They always do a couple of awards and then they do after. But I felt they could have done some other things in between. Mm-hmm. I didn't like a lot of Jimmy's jokes. When he came out and when he didn't come out. I didn't like that as much. I didn't like, and this is throwing it all off topic, but I want to say it before I forget about it. I didn't like that after the award show, there was the Abbott Elementary. And I didn't like that it was the Abbott Elementary. It came right in and I didn't get a chance to talk about it. So it kind of threw me off. I wanted to have maybe 15 minutes after the show ended. And then I would get back to talk about it or something like that. Yeah, so Abbott Elementary. What I didn't like, because it's such a good show, and you have to watch, you have to pay attention, but you're still kind of like talking about the awards and talking about everything that happened. It's almost like I would have enjoyed like a 15-minute recap or 15-minute news or something before it went into Abbott Elementary. That was one of my little main pet peeves. Another one was, and I know that you have a lot of things to talk about on this, so I'll just get to the other stuff. Clothes, costumes and stuff that people wore. What I liked Emma Stone had a fantastic outfit.
Oh yeah,
Gabrielle Union, she looked really, really great. And America Ferrera, I think those were my three best dresses. My three best dress. The misses for me were Erica Alexander. She's an actress in American Fiction. That wasn't a good choice for me. Emily Blunt. I like the idea of the dress, and she looked really beautiful in her white and stuff, but I didn't like the stand-up shoulders. Kind of just didn't do it for me. And then Diane Warren. I love Diane. She's like one of my favorite composers, favorite human beings, because she's such a great person, really nice person, and I talked to her. But I kind of felt like, because she's nominated so much and we see her so much, that her suits could have been a little, I don't know, nicer, cuter. I think maybe a different pattern or something. Those are like my main things for me.
And that was other stuff that you wanted to see more of or wanted to see less of?
Oh, I just wanted to mention the fashion really quick before we got.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Before we got turned off.
I loved Gabrielle Union's outfit. I thought she was the best dress there.
Yeah, she was great. I think she was the best dress too. I thought she was great.
I thought Elmo looked good. I thought Eva Longoria looked great.
Yeah, Eva looked really nice too. She had a nice black outfit. Oh my God, I know. What's wrong with me? I think that should probably go without saying. Lupita's always going to look good. She's always going to take any carpet she's going to do. Yeah.
You guys always put the same people. You need to put Lupita. Just put her in there now.
And then, no matter what the list is, just put her on there and then be done.
And then just go down. I'm trying to remember who else for the fashion. Guys. I'm trying to think offhand for the guys.
I thought Jeffrey Wright looked good.
Yeah.
He had a nice little outfit. I liked Cillian Murphy. Looked really good. Coleman Domingo.
I love Coleman Domingo.
Really good. Yeah, he really rocks the fashion.
I like on Netflix with a tweet. I think it was in 12 hours. We can see what
Coleman's going to wear. Yeah, that's really cute.
That was so cute. And I like that he was on Instagram doing a live in the morning of the Oscars and thanking everybody, just saying thanks to everybody now, and said he was being nominated.
That was very sweet.
He's at his hotel. He's just thanking everybody.
Yeah.
And people were making comments and all this stuff, and he was like, same people he knows and making comments like that too. And I was like, oh, let me make a comment. He don't know me personally, but why not? I think he can read it later.
Yeah, exactly.
When he goes home,
enjoy it later.
I know he's going off to shoot a movie right after the Oscars. He can go and read it then.
Right.
And I actually put on there, and I said, oh, Netflix has already tweeted about you. And saying they can't wait. And he's like, oh, that's he actually recognized.
Oh my God, how sweet!
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, he actually recognized me.
Read
it. He goes, oh, that's what's already got you on there.
Get with the program.
That's what's already got. It was really cute.
Yeah,
to see him doing that. He's like at his hotel. And he's like all happy. It was really cute. And that's what I have to think for fashion.
Yeah,
I'll probably think of something once we get off of fashion.
No, I think it's fine. And then I'll put a link to my red carpet looks. I just did highlights. Not necessarily best or dress, best or worst, but just highlights. They had a link to that on TVMusic Network, one of those. So you can just put that up there. I'll put the link on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the biggest dislike. Ready?
Mine? Yours.
Yeah, it's both
things.
Of ours.
I got a couple things.
Go.
Mine was some of Jimmy's jokes.
Yeah.
Some of Jimmy's jokes just seemed so dated.
They didn't land either.
Or so personal. Like the Robert Downey Jr., the drug thing is so old and so tired.
Yeah.
And
I would have preferred if he made jokes about Iron Man.
Yeah.
Rather than that. Or Dr. Dolittle. Some of those movies he did that might have been better.
That was so tired. And then
Not Less Than Zero.
Then when he went to Coleman and then doing a Michael Jackson joke. It was just so tired and just so it was so unnecessary. It was we know there's a Michael movie coming out. It had nothing to do with his character.
Right. Again, it goes back into the inside to me because a lot of people at home, do people at home know that there's a Michael Jackson movie coming out?
But that's what I got. People were mad about the joke and people were like, wow, there was a Michael Jackson movie going out.
Right.
In the audience, people were like, Michael Jackson movie? So I'm like, oh, thanks for giving some publicity to the new Michael Jackson. It's the hottest thing in town right now, Yeah. But okay. And I thought some of it just didn't land right. And then I also thought, his jokes. Let's just go with there.
Yeah.
I thought his jokes. I also thought that which was still my pet peeve, and it's probably going to stay there for a long time, is going to be the clips. If you're going to have actors and actresses, you need to show us clips. Show us why.
Show us why you thought that person deserved the nomination.
Show us why.
Yeah.
Show us. I know they had the 5 actors come out, from previous winners and say something about
their character. Rather see the clip?
No. Show the clip too.
That's true. You got plenty of time.
Knock out those jokes and show me the clips. I don't mean you need a whole minute of clips. Show me 30 seconds. Show me 30 seconds of the 5 nominees. Look at the time. Just show me 10 seconds. Give me 15 seconds.
Because that's like 15 seconds, every year, 5 people. That's what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
Yeah. But certain years they tend to skip it. And I'm like, why are we skipping these? Do you not want us to see what's going on?
I know your theory.
What's going on here? They happened the year when they were downtown at the train station doing the Oscars.
Yeah, that was the one I should have been sitting at.
And that was the one when they skipped.
As much as I've taken that train, I could have been there.
That was the one when they skipped all the nominees. They had categories in odd orders, and it's just all kind of weird little things going on. Weird. It was like, why are we skipping these nominees? Okay, show me the clips. Show me the clips. Okay, we saw the clips. We saw the clips everywhere else. We saw the clips pretty much all year. Why are we hiding the clips on the most important day of the Super Bowl of the movies, the biggest award show of the year, and you aren't going to show me the clips of the best supporting actor, actress, and actress? Why?
Right.
Okay, then sometimes they'll start them off, but they won't show the
and then the little intros, the best picture. Yeah. I forgot it. That was another thing I forgot.
But then when it gets that lead category, I'm sorry, those clips need to be shown. They showed them last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember the clips. That guy even picked out the clips that I thought they were going to show for each performer. Why didn't we see the clips?
Okay.
That's a question for you, Jimmy Kimmel and your wife and other producers. Why?
We want to know. Where the clips? Bring back the clips.
Yeah. What's his name? Who produces one of the Oscar producers? I'll have to ask about that. Yeah. I'm curious to know. That's just to me.
You run into him, you're going to ask.
Oh, I am.
I know.
That's just one of them. That's just, to me, that's so important. We may not see, then, say we only seen one movie that whole year. We might want to say, wow, that looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They do it with the Tonys.
Yeah.
You get the nominations, the performances from the best musical nominees, and that you want to go and see. Help sell it. Yeah.
All these movies are all over on streaming services. Almost every movie's there.
Right.
Now, in the Best Picture category, if your movie was up for Best Picture, then you saw part of the clips.
Right.
So you saw a clip of
but it was kind of out of order.
You saw a clip of Robert and Killian. You saw a clip of
Past Lives, one of my favorite movies of the year.
Past Lives. You saw clips of those.
Right.
But you did not see a clip of Danielle because Color Purple wasn't nominated.
True.
So you saw no clip of her performance.
Right.
Excellent. You saw no clips, so I need to see clips. That's one. Also, the best song and the best pictures. The best songs were spread throughout the whole entire show.
Yeah.
Then the winner gets up and they say the winner wins. There needs to be a voiceover. You can tape it
something
in advance.
to remind us.
Yeah,
as a reminder, the nominees were. Right.
Put them all up there before you put their little pictures.
Yeah, it was kind of
and then they didn't show their picture until they won. Now, they always put up the pictures that everybody when they win, and you see the look on their faces. No, it was like, and the winner is. And they said the winner. Then they clicked to Billy and her brother.
Yeah.
It's like, show me the 5. You want to see that look on those people. Show me that clip. They didn't do that. So they didn't repeat that. Then when they got to this best picture, they bring out
Al Pacino.
And he was originally supposed to be with
Michelle Pfeiffer. And they were supposed to have a Scarface reunion.
She got delayed and she couldn't make it. Or something happened.
Right.
Delayed or something with their flight or something with their recording.
Right.
Something. She could not make it.
Yeah. So if that's the case, in the last minute thing, they could have brought out De Niro, and we could have had a Godfather thing.
You need a backup plan.
I don't know, whoever else Al's been in movies with.
You need a backup plan. And apparently it wasn't like they told her, it wasn't like that she said that, I can't catch my flight. There was hours, for what we heard in that time frame, to bring someone else out there. You have a backup person.
They could have.
who is a person? You need a backup person. If something happens to this person, we're going to bring out someone else. It goes to the co-stars. You can still, De Niro would have been perfect.
Yeah, he was there, right?
Once again, we had that incident where it was all weird and all crazy and all, with the thing.
That was funny, though, when Emma Stone won. And
Jimmy Kimmel, to go in that one. He goes,
Jimmy Kimmel goes, tear that envelope, tear it up right now. No confusion.
Yeah, it got back to that
was
ceremony.
Funny. I must admit, that was
funny.
So
he goes to present the things, and we've seen all 10 movies.
Yeah, so we're like, we're going to have an Oppenheimer.
And he's opening the
moment. Is he going to say Barbie? What's he doing?
And he opened up ahead of time. And they didn't show anything back. He just said, the winner is.
And then he had a paper in his hand, and I'm like, maybe that was what was on the teleprompter. So they put it on there because he couldn't read it, but then he didn't read it anyway.
Weird and really shaky. Then when he said it, no one got up. They were like, okay, because everybody's thinking,
did we win? Did we not win? Or is he just naming the ones? I don't know. It was weird.
What is Tenet's wife's name? Emma.
Yeah.
She looked like, I'm not stepping foot a little bit. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait because I'm not going to be
I'm not going to be embarrassed.
Like that whole La La Moonlight situation.
Yeah.
And then finally he starts reading the producers' names. And
that
it
was
like,
weird.
Go. Okay, we won. It was like a little weird.
I see.
And then it comes up that they said he was never supposed to say the winners. He wasn't supposed to read back the nominees because they didn't do it for the music category.
So he fumbled it. I don't know.
But it should have been where they should have put Andrew. And so presenting the award for
then David could have read them.
Yeah, the best 10 pictures on everything are Barbie, so and so.
Right, as a reminder.
And put all the pictures there on the slate. Then you go and to say the winner. Al Pacino. Here we go.
That's true. Yeah. They totally could have done that.
Could have had him stand there while they do all the names.
As a reminder, here's the picture. Best picture winners again.
Because it came out weird. It came out
to present the award is
and here he comes.
Yeah,
with her or without.
I like that idea.
And maybe she would have covered it more. Or maybe
we should produce the Oscars.
It just came across as look like odd, like weird. People are like, he should be syndicated. No, they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Is he having a stroke? Is he okay? Or he's old? Or he's this? Yeah, and I was like, come on.
Danced out there and had no problem. No problem. Saying the director.
Maybe he should have done Best Picture too.
He should have came back out with him.
He's won Best Picture before.
He should have came. I don't know. They need to figure out. I think it's fantastic. I love when they mention old school, new school. I like when award shows.
Yeah, I like that all the time.
I like that too.
I like the nostalgia part.
It happened once before when Lady Gaga came out with Liza Minnelli. And Liza Minnelli was there, and Lady Gaga, Liza Minnelli looked like she was looking at the cards, and Gaga's like, I got you. Okay, it was covered. It was beautiful. Yeah. It was done. It can be done.
So like we need Lady Gaga. She could have come out with Al Pacino. Well, no. Asaguchi was embarrassing, so I don't know.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it's good to have these standard people come out. I love when they bring those people come out. Let them come out. I love to see the old time Hollywood come out.
Yeah, I do too.
But they need to come out, and it needs not to be complicated. And it looks complicated. It looked like, there's a problem here.
Oh,
is there not a problem? Is the producer weight on hand? It's like, it just, and like I said, it may not have been planned that way.
Yeah.
And maybe it never would have happened if
Michelle was there.
Yeah. Because that whole, it started getting a flashback.
She could have handled it, yeah.
It may be so, or maybe not. But they were like, no, he never was supposed to read the nominees. It was always that way. It was always planned. And he didn't do anything wrong. And, so what do you, but it just
it's just timing live TV. What can you say? What can you do?
Clips, and besides those announcements.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The final one, which I think we both are going to agree on, we got to talk about it. And I know I can go in on this forever and a day.
Yeah, don't go in on it forever and a day. But please go in.
This time is the In Memoriam.
Yeah. I would agree with you. The In Memoriam.
Why can't we get this right?
Horrible.
Why
C-.
Can't we
C-.
get this right?
And the only reason I'm giving it a C- is because there was so much talent that we lost in this past year in the movies. And it was just like weird. Okay, first of all, I give them an A for the idea of it and how it might have looked on paper. We'll have an orchestra. We'll have, some dancers.
To me, that was
we'll
too
have
much
this
already.
We'll have this big thing. I mean, for how they thought it was going to look, but it didn't transfer to TV, and it didn't transfer to audience either. Go.
And the funny part about it, I shouldn't say funny part about it, is that one of the producers was like, oh, it was beautiful. It's the first time we had a standing ovation. It was this and that, and then the slides, and all this is great, and reminiscent. I'm like, really? Is that what you thought?
No.
Because that's not the way you looked across in and out the building, you know?
We couldn't see the people. They had the thing, had it on stage. There were some times where I was like, wait, who is that? Or... sometimes you have to take a minute to kind of remember, like, who the person was. You go, oh, and there might be a reflection. Oh, I didn't know that person passed away. Oh, I didn't know that person was in that movie. Oh, I didn't know that this person was a publicist. I didn't know that this person was that. You have that kind of factor where In Memoriam, to me, is a nod to the people that we lost.
Yes.
Not to the production and how it could be beautiful and how it could be whatever. If that was the case... You bring those people, you bring the dance out. They come out, they do the dance for a minute to the song. Ooh, it's pretty. It's pretty, no. And then they exit stage left. Half people go that way, half people go that way. Then show me everybody that's on, that's there in the pictures and stuff. And then if you have to, only if you have to, bring them back out. And then I didn't like... They flashed a bunch of random names at the end.
Yeah.
They flashed a bunch of random names at the end that I wasn't quite sure. And I'm thinking, thank God I taped it because I could go back and try to see later what I might have missed. And I don't know. And I'm saying it now. I will say it till the end of time, till Breath of Day. TCM, towards the end of the year, they do a very nice memorial on their channel
every year
in between movie breaks. They just do it. They take a good, I don't know, it could even be 5 minutes. They mention all the people we lost. They show a nice little clip of the person. If you don't have a clip, they show a picture, they show a name, they show maybe what movie the person might have been or something, and it's fine. I'm sorry, they need to do that. Don't forget the number, forget whatever. Have Ricky Minor and them up there.
You already have Ricky Minor Orchestra.
Yeah. So have them play whatever song they need to play in instrumental. You don't even need an artist singing. Just instrumental. And have that play and then show the pictures. And then that's it. That's all you need. I think that would probably be more touching than the big production number itself.
Yeah.
Save those production numbers for the best song. For the, for the original song. Or if you must do it, do something where they do a little nod to all the scores. And if you need to keep that musical number in. You say, oh, okay, here's the best scores. We're going to do a little compilation of all of them. Put them all together. And then they can have somebody come and choreograph all the numbers and stuff. They do it. And they're done. And then in the memoriam, like I said before, Ricky's Minor thing, we don't even need to see them. We can just hear them. And then the pictures, full-on pictures, and everybody needs to be included. If you make it a 5-minute long segment, it's 5 minutes long. I know it's live television, but I think people will probably understand it more. If you have to flash the pictures in 30-second, little... If you have to show 100 pictures in 30 seconds, I understand that, but there's a way to do it that I think could be more respectful and people would feel better for it, because I know it got a lot of criticism from me, a lot of criticism from you. You're still on it.
I'm still on it.
And you'll never be over it.
I'm not over it.
Yeah. And
it's just a matter...
I don't know. I just feel like
it's just a matter of...
ways that it could be done better.
Yeah. No one's asking for this big production. I understand it's live
that's
TV.
why I'm saying.
To make a production. The Grammys, I were on the Grammys.
Oh my God,
the Grammys when they're singing "The Best Is Yet to Come."
Yeah, you're like, huh?
Like, okay,
that was kind of weird.
And we mentioned at the Grammy podcast, we mentioned there's two people that it's the TCM.
Yes, TCM.
And it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
When they air
really
it,
well
because
too.
they didn't air it at one time, and I didn't like that. But when they air it, you can go back and watch it on TCM. Go to TCM Memoriam 2023. It's online.
Yes.
Go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Go to the HBO. Not HBO.
It was Disney.
Go to Disney Plus. Find it. It's probably...
It's on Hulu now, too.
Yeah, go to Hulu. Find it. Speed it up and watch it.
Right.
Watch it the way it's done.
Right.
It is done so classy and so there, and it's very simple. It doesn't need to be fancy.
Right.
First of all, you already have this orchestra. Okay, we get it.
Right.
Then you decided to bring in dancers. Mandy Moore choreographed a beautiful number.
Yeah,
you know,
but you didn't need it.
Beautiful number with that. You know, you didn't need it. You did not need those
That's
dancers.
what I said. Bring that as a little medley of the best.
I was happy to see some of the dancers.
But bring that in as a medley of the best score.
Yeah.
If you need to have that number, just redirect it.
They threw in the Bocelli. It's like, you now have already got the dancers. Mixed.
Andrea Bocelli and his son.
You bring Andrea and
beautiful,
his son in. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. Beautiful. It was just so much going on that it was so,
it lost the focus.
It lost the focus.
Yeah.
And then, I think it was 2 years ago, when I didn't think it'd get any worse, when they were showing the names so fast.
And they did get worse.
2 years ago, so fast, and you couldn't catch up. It was going back and forth, and you're like, what is happening here? What is going on? And I didn't think it could get worse, and then I saw this one. Why is it so? Okay, I don't think they understand. The whole point of it is that you are paying tribute to people who gave and did their craft in the industry. And
but I think the producers are like, I've got 3 minutes of television. I got to make it look. People are going to get bored just sitting there looking at pictures. I can't have pictures. I can't do whatever. I don't know what they're thinking, but maybe that's it. Okay, I don't know.
That's fine. If that was the case, if you needed to have the orchestra, the dancers, and the Bocelli family.
Said, first minute.
Have the dancers the first minute, and off they go. Ricky, and then have the instrumental play the whole time in the background with the pictures.
Right.
People are watching to see. You're talking about people whose family members, people, they gave their life to this art.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject to begin with.
It's a sensitive subject to start with. They've given their lives to this craft. This is their craft. It's there. And then at the very end of it, you leave off key people.
Yeah.
Was it Burt Young? You left a key people.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was in the nominated movies, if you want to get technical. That's always who gets in, who doesn't get in. You know, it's always like this, a cinematographer, should he be in over an actor? It's like everyone should be included.
Right.
Then they took a list at the very end.
Oh, my God.
And they threw in a bunch of names of people that they didn't show pictures of.
Just see.
So there we saw
somebody
Burt
go,
name.
Yeah.
So now at the end, you're like, they didn't show so-and-so. Oh, wait, who are they? So you're trying to read these names that were going faster than lightning. And they were just popping up out of nowhere.
It was weird.
And I'm thinking to myself, I saw a better presentation at the hip-hop, at the Grammys out of hip-hop.
Yeah.
They did that, and they put all people's name on the screen. At the end, they can just copy that.
I couldn't understand it. It made no sense to me.
And then add insult to injury to me, at the very end, they always say that for a list of people that we for the full list,
it's like
go to www. It's like, you couldn't show me all that, but
you couldn't show me the full list. But you got Guillermo passing out shots.
You got Jimmy Kimmel making Michael Jackson jokes.
Yeah.
You got, you couldn't show me that.
Yeah.
You couldn't show me that.
And even though I liked it and it was funny.
You did,
John Cena's out there.
Yeah,
forever, how long?
Out there.
You couldn't
show me those names. It's like, to me, it's disrespectful to the people. And then
that's the way it comes across.
And then it comes across. And once it airs, then you got that who we left off the list. Then that pops up.
Right.
Who we leave off? Then you got to start, we left so-and-so because we left so-and-so. It's like, no one should be left off. We're not asking for a 12-minute presentation of everyone who passed away.
Right.
But there's a way you could do it. Get rid of that, keep that orchestra, get rid of those dancers, get rid of the Bocellis, show the pictures, let it play for 4 or 5 minutes, go to a commercial break. If people want to complain, people want to go get food, people don't want to watch it, whatever, that's fine. If you want to call it a low point or a slow point, you know what?
Yeah.
Then that's fine.
Then that's fine. But let the audience decide
but
that.
Let the audience decide it. Show the picture slower. Put 3 or 4. There was one they put 4 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. Put 2 for your, higher, you want to put, actors.
Yeah, who gets a longer segment.
Who gets a longer segment.
Yeah, but come
on. 4 or 5 on the page. Don't show me someone whose name who's up in an Oscar movie. Don't show me their name on a slideshow so fast.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Just put it like 2 and 2. Then throw a thing of 4. Then throw a thing of 5. Then if you must put the names up, which I had suggested one time when the Grammys left all these people, then just have them run up slow over a nice violin and a nice orchestra. Ricky Minor is there.
Maybe Portia could have come up with her little violin and done the last little
Ricky
thing
Minor
for
is
if you
there
want to
with
highlight
this huge,
people.
big orchestra. Let them play. Let them go to break. And then when you come back,
Yes.
From the thing, announce one of those pictures. So it won't be like Jimmy Kimmel coming right back after this In Memoriam with the joke.
Right.
It's already later in the show anyway. It's like right before they do the last 4 awards anyway.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, but then they were like, "Oh, it's so great!" And just to see the producers talking about how great. Okay, hey, as a producer, you're not going to say it didn't work. No one's going to.
Yeah. As a production itself, it worked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
as
they were just boasting about it, like
whatever. Well, because it takes a long time to plan those things. You got to hire people. You got to choreograph. You got the lighting. You got the costumes. You got this. You got everything. But like I said, maybe that could have been the opening number, where they talked about introduce the movies or something, not introduce the people that we lost.
That's the way I feel. Maybe some people feel that it was too long. Maybe some people feel like it's a sad part of the show.
Yeah.
But to me, other award shows seem to have done this, and other award shows seem to have done a little bit better than others. I don't know how to really explain it.
Yeah.
I just like, why can't we get this right? It's like,
yeah. Well, one of my hopes for next year and future Oscars is that we get it right.
And not to compare it to the BAFTAs or SAG or those. These people seem to have no problem just playing it over a thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, like I said, SAG and BAFTA, the most script down award shows they are.
Yeah.
Script down, no host, no nothing, just boom, 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 boom. They managed to have the pictures up on the screen without a bunch of music, a bunch of a bunch of production numbers and all that, and it seemed to make its point.
Right.
Hey, they got Christopher Lee on a couple people, but besides that,
right.
They seem to.
That's always going to happen.
That's always going to happen. Then it just was like, I don't know how to explain it, but I really thought we could. That year, those numbers went so fast. What could go wrong? And here we are.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know.
What are your hopes for future shows? Hopes for next year, things that you'd like to see, things you kind of wish.
Yeah.
I'd like to see whatever they put on after the Oscars. I thought Abbott Elementary was a good choice or something, but I felt like maybe I needed a break in between. I didn't need to go right from the Oscars right to that.
I think that's because of the East Coast, too.
Well,
because
the East Coast, they showed it before.
And they had to fill that half an hour. Or did they show that before?
I think they showed it before. I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to ask someone. I don't know. Did they show it before? So maybe someone could tell
or
us.
Maybe they repeat the Oscar red carpet, probably, because a lot of people didn't see it.
They don't think they get a red carpet. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying that stuff that comes
used to
between
be
3:30 and 4.
I don't understand why the news just didn't come on.
Yeah, exactly.
A half an hour news.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
In between. And then
it used to be a special that used to come and talk about the nominees and everything else.
Nominee special. Remember back in the day, way back in the. What do you mean?
No, but that you think that you need some kind of break or some kind of.
I needed some kind of break in between because I felt like I didn't give enough attention to Abbott Elementary because I was still focused on the award show, and so I needed some time in between. Just me.
Okay.
I guess maybe other people didn't need it.
I guess it just depends on where it aired in the part of the town where you're from. Maybe that's what I'm guessing.
But I still think that maybe on the East Coast they probably got the news after. Maybe
they may have got the news right after.
Between.
They may have got the news and that was it.
I'm just speaking for
because
me.
It's 10:30 at night and their news goes on 11. So I don't know. Maybe they got Albert Elementary. They may have got it, and because 10:30 at night isn't as late as 11:30 at night because they're on the East Coast.
Right.
So 10:30 at night they could have watched Elementary and they could have decided 11 o'clock to watch the news and go to bed.
Maybe.
Or just go to bed. Maybe that's how it worked out. It probably worked out better in their advantage to that.
Yeah. Maybe.
So remember at midnight it ended at 10:30 instead of 11:30.
Right. And then I did like that maybe it could be a little more interactive. And I don't mean jokes. But I mean, maybe have more of the audience kind of participate into the sketches like they did with Michael Keaton and Steven Spielberg. Those were kind of cute. I like those. I think maybe they could have done more of that. I like Guillermo, but maybe a little less Guillermo. Unless he's going to be co-hosting, the tequila thing.
Was he at one skit? That was too much. Was it only one skit?
Maybe it was one skit, but it seemed like two. I liked him though, but maybe it did seem like it was too much.
Maybe we've seen him all week. Maybe that's why.
Maybe a little. I could have used a little less Guillermo.
Okay. Sorry, Guillermo.
Yes, dude. Sorry. But I don't know. I think I say it every year, and I think I'll just get ready for the next award season. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I would like to see...
Oh, and then a better memorial segment, but In Memoriam segment.
I like to see the In Memoriam be fixed. And like I said, we're not asking for perfection here. Just get somebody...
Just better.
Yeah.
Just, you shoot for a goal every year, and that's your goal, is to make it better. Not make it perfect, because it's not going to be perfect, but make it better.
Just have somebody sing, play the clips, and have somebody in. And I don't want to see them when they show the pictures. I don't want to see them. That's not the point.
Yeah.
And you play it at that time of the day, and you can decide whether you want to sit there and watch it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or you don't, it's 5 minutes long. Make it 5 minutes and let everybody be included. It's like...
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sound person that was waiting, some sound person who has 3 or 4 Oscars on a shelf somewhere that, that passed away, and their family's watching it and they couldn't even find them.
Yeah.
And they're looking, hey, this guy won more Oscars than this person who got on stage and talked for 3 minutes. It's like, or this person that you showed on the carpet, it's just like, that's one. Number 2, the clips for the actors. We're not asking for much. 4 categories.
Right.
You can't give us, but they show clips, but they showed the animation clips. It's like, picking and choosing clips you want to show. The animation clips are all we see. Like, why can't you show me a clip so I can see what Sterling K. Brown was doing in American Fiction? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't watch it.
He's in a movie. Oh, what's he doing? Couldn't tell you. There he is,
Yeah, I'd like to see that movie. Based off that little clip.
Yeah, that little clip I saw. Nope,
right.
Can't get it now. That's what I would like to see.
Right.
And I would also like to see, the clips, the memoriam, less jokes from the host. Yeah. Although there was one good joke at the end when he did with the Matt Damon joke. If you're waiting for Matt Damon show, I'm sorry, I gotta give him a point on that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
A point on that one.
Yes.
And the intros to come before when you do like performances throughout the show at the very end, the intros.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more of the bringing out the actors. It used to be like this actor from last year presents this year. I know people were gone, all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So keep the 5 actors.
I like that.
Keep the 5.
I like the 5. I think that
or just bring 3 if you need to. You
yeah.
can't get all bring 3. Oh, and my biggest thing, where was Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on,
yes,
guys.
Yes.
You bring all these actresses out. You only have 1 person of color. Well, 2 now if you want to count Michelle.
Yeah.
She came because she was there last year. You couldn't find Halle Berry.
I know.
Where was she?
She's probably one of the most popular wins.
She was
so people
on
want to see
social
it.
media saying, "Oh yeah, she's making comments." She was a
why wasn't she there?
Yeah, you couldn't find her. Did you ask her if she was gone? We gotta get an answer on that. Halle.
Yeah.
We gotta get an answer. Where was Halle Berry? Where was she? Was she out? Was she out of town?
Yeah.
Could her car not make it there?
And I know I was gonna say again too.
She ain't that far from Dobie. Could
Where
we not
was
get
Brad
her there?
Pitt? Where was George Clooney? One of the 2 of them could have been there.
Yeah, where were they? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, George Clooney.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
George. Wait, I don't want to get it mixed up. But George Clooney.
Yeah.
Could have came out and presented that award with Pacino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, George Clooney could have done it.
What movie were they in together?
I don't think they were in any movie together, but they could have came out. They ain't no movie together, but I'm just trying to think of somebody who's like who's been in the like Best Picture forums or Director forums or any kind of forums. Could have came out. And
Bradley Cooper was nominated, so he couldn't come out.
He couldn't do it. You can't have a nominee because then it looks like You
I know, but you could have. And see, now I feel bad because now I feel like I'm picking on Al Pacino. And I'm not picking
I don't
on
want
him.
to pick on Al Pacino.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not picking on him. But it's like we've had Warren Beatty, and Warren Beatty said, Annette, you going by yourself?
He didn't even show.
He's like, no.
He was like,
I don't want to be anywhere near an envelope. Near an answer. I don't want to go anywhere because,
Plus, I heard the car's going to be stuck there.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to walk from the Chick-fil-A to the Zonzo.
To bring me there? No, I'm not doing it. Yeah, he was not there.
No, he wasn't.
He was nowhere to be found. I shouldn't say it that way, but...
I don't know.
Yeah, and okay, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Pacino.
I'm picking on him, and
I don't want to pick on Al Pacino. I haven't picked on. I forgave Al Pacino from. I don't want to pick on Al Pacino because it probably really wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't. It was a miscommunication between
him and
the producers.
He got the envelope. He came out. He was in the category. He was told to get up there and read the winner, and that's what he did. So in his defense, he did what he was told to be done.
I see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
You're like, wait,
it was just the way it was presented. I think it's just the way there was no gap. They called him out. He came out and said, okay, the winner is. And it was like, wait a minute. What about the nominees?
Yeah.
What about the 10 pictures? And that could have helped while he was walking out. They could have said,
yeah, here they are, yeah.
Here's the slate. And then he could have a chance to walk out or have a chance to already be out.
Right.
And boom, 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 boom. The little clips of them.
Boom, 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 boom.
There's the 10 of them.
Yeah.
And then let's go on and do whatever.
I don't know. But anyway, maybe some more clarification for that and for the music one, because when
just those two.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande came out, they go, oh, you saw those throughout the day, and here's the winner.
Yeah, here's the winner. Huh? And you're like, wait a minute, what happened to the other people?
We have short attention spans sometimes. You got to remind us.
Yeah, you got to remind people.
All this stuff, yeah. Got to remember shit.
And I was happy that Cord Jefferson also won, too.
Yes.
And he had a beautiful speech as well.
I loved his speech.
I liked his speech. I liked that it was kind of like the you could be the underdog speech. You can still get it it's his first movie. He talked about saying no, so it was kind of like a hopeful thing for people out there. So
I like that he mentioned to Hollywood, and I say it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, do we need a $200 million movie? Do we need it? Whatever. When I used to work at Crate, they would come in. Sometimes the production companies would come in, and they would buy martini glasses. They'd buy so-and-so glasses, and the glass would be like $7.50 a pop. And I'm like, oh, you're the reason why movies cost $15. Why are you buying a $750 martini glass when you can buy a $250 one and get the same visual effect? Because I don't think anyone's going to really look at it and notice. Although I look at all the product now and go, oh, they use the so-and-so. Oh, they use this. Oh, they use an old-fashioned. They use that. I always do that.
I know that. You mean as opposed to, you're saying, why are they buying this for this movie when they can buy this for this movie?
No,
or why are they buying this for this production or whatever?
Yeah.
Or you just looking at it as a general whole?
And a general whole.
I'm saying that.
Because when Cord said, why are we making a $200 million movie? Yeah. Why don't you make 2 $100 million movies? Make 4.
Yes,
50 million, 10, whatever. I still think they can do that.
Yeah, of course they could. But I don't think they will.
Well, of course they won't, because they're already planning things. But it's a hope and it's a dream. It's nice to have more. You got to have the smaller movies in to coincide with the larger ones, which is basically what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think Cord said it more beautifully and more eloquently than I ever could. So I guess I should just leave him to say it.
No, he said it great.
Yeah.
He said it. And it makes you think about that, too. How many movies are in production?
Yeah.
And how many movies, you got to look at what's happening now. People are still, like you said, that's one of the pros and cons of watching, award shows and going to award shows like that, too. People are talking about the award shows, and that's that other half of the industry that isn't fully back to work yet.
Yeah.
There's a whole half of the industry.
Yeah.
And the
budgets
Oscars,
are cut. Things are slashed.
Yeah. Things are still slow. Budgets are still cut and all this stuff too. So when you're watching a red carpet showing and these people are like, they took 15 days to put this gown together. And,
she went 4-carat diamonds.
4-carat beads. Yeah. And to me, that kind of this thing, do you really need to have a whole show about that when there's people out there that are lighting people that aren't back to work fully, and there's actors that still can't get jobs, and there's people behind the scenes.
Well, I did like the nods to the cruise.
Yeah,
that was
nice.
That's
right. Yeah, that's one thing he did brought at the beginning.
I did like
them all out. He did that, but
that was a good nod to the cruise.
But that is a sticky situation.
But we need to do more
with the award season 2, because you're like, everybody, look how pretty so and so is, and all that. And then you got the other half where people are like, I'm still working at a flower shop, and we haven't got back to business yet.
That is
true. So hopefully this time next year, when we go back and cover the Oscars and everything else, hopefully we'll have more positive news about the industry.
I agree.
And hopefully what Cord said about the movie, maybe they will break up more movies.
Yeah.
And maybe they will break these out and not, and maybe things will pick up a little bit more.
Yeah, I kind of like to think that there
progress
are.
report as opposed to, what's happening and not happening and all that too.
Right.
So that was the other thing too. But I think that's what I would hope for next year. I would hope for
right.
Better Memoriam.
A full actual award season.
Clips.
Yeah.
A full season, because now it felt like everything was so pushed together.
Right.
Like, oh my God, it's so pushed together. And
are things still going to happen? You never know. Right.
Hopefully clips. More jokes from the host.
Better Memoriam segment.
Those are my main ones.
Yeah, and then like a tighter show in general.
And maybe some kind of way you can get, because like I said, I really should say, because all the movies were on TV pretty much. But just more distribution for these movies so people can see them.
Yeah.
People can see them too. And even the voters.
Yeah.
That's something too, because all those movies have to be qualified in a theater for, a week in order to be up. And then you got different branches voting and people are still saying there's still not enough time to vote.
Right.
And there was like all this,
But that was because, was because of the strike.
Because of the strike. So that's a little tricky too.
Right.
People were saying they didn't have time to really see everything and because of the voting system too. So that's it. So basically, that is the Oscars.
Wow.
That's the Oscars from Phyllis and Belinda.
Yeah, from top to bottom.
Top to bottom, and then a little bit in between.
Yeah.
And that's it. So Phyllis, where can we find you on social media?
I am actually on Twitter at Phyllis_Thomas. You can find me on Instagram. I'm just around.
Oh, okay. And
what about you, Belinda?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram as Belinda's LA Music. You can also find us at TVMusic Network.
Yeah.
We're available on all of social media. You can find this podcast at
we got a nice YouTube channel. Anywhere you get your podcast. Apple, iHeart.
We're trying to be everywhere.
Yes, we are.
And that's it. So closing us out today is a original song. We have an original song.
Yeah, a very nice song.
A very nice original song for our friends John Morgan and Dave Simiak. It is
Thank you in advance again, guys.
And it is going to play us out, and maybe one day we'll have this song up at one of our award ceremonies.
You never know.
And that's it. Thanks a lot, everyone. Yeah. Take care.
Goodbye.